Most people think succulents are just cute little plants sitting on a windowsill, but wait until you see the ones on this list. They look like they came straight out of a sci-fi movie. Today we're checking out the 14 most unique succulents with shapes so wild you'll want to pause the video just to stare. Some twist like coral, some look like living stones, and a few honestly seem like they might start talking back. These plants don't just look cool, they're super tough and surprisingly easy to keep alive. If you're bored of the usual aloe and jade plants, this list is your upgrade. And honestly, having even one of these in your home instantly becomes a conversation starter. So let's jump in and check out the strangest, weirdest, most mind-bending succulents you can actually grow. Huernia Zebrina is one of those succulents that instantly stops people in their tracks because its star-shaped flowers look almost unreal, with that bold red and yellow, lifesaver, ring sitting right in the center. This plant thrives in bright light and handles neglect like a champ, needing water only when the soil is completely dry, which makes it perfect for anyone who forgets to water on time. Its thick, angular stems grow in these quirky, sprawling shapes that fit perfectly into the theme of strange, unique succulents, and it stays compact enough for small shelves or balcony corners. What makes it even cooler is that it can bloom several times a year if you give it warmth and a well-draining mix. And fun fact, the flower's pattern is so precise that many plant lovers joke it looks 3D printed. String of buttons brings a totally different kind of weird charm with its stacked, geometric leaves that twist upward like a tiny spiral staircase, giving it that perfect strange shape vibe. It grows best in bright, indirect sunlight where those edges can develop a soft pink tint, and it only needs a drink when the soil fully dries out, making it an easy care succulent even for beginners. Its stems stay firm and upright but slowly lean and trail as they grow, which makes it great for shelves, small pots, or mixed arrangements where you want something visually interesting. What really makes it memorable is how each leaf looks perfectly cut and arranged, almost like someone built the plant from little green puzzle pieces. Proof of why it's consistently listed as one of the most unique succulents you can actually grow at home. Crassula Buddha's temple looks like something engineered rather than grown, with its perfectly stacked, square leaves forming a tight column that really does resemble a miniature stone temple. This plant thrives in bright light and develops its clean, architectural shape best when it gets at least a few hours of sun, plus it only needs watering when the soil is bone dry, which helps prevent its compact structure from stretching. It stays surprisingly small, usually around 6 inches tall, so it's perfect for desks or shelves where you want something unusual but not overwhelming. The coolest part is how each leaf layer fits so precisely that collectors joke it looks designed by a mathematician, and when it's happy, it even produces tiny white flowers that look almost too delicate for such a structured plant. Monkey's tail is one of those succulents that looks so wild you almost expect it to move, with its long, trailing stems covered in soft, fuzzy white spines that feel more like fur than cactus needles. It thrives in bright light and actually prefers a bit of direct sun, especially in the morning, and it only needs watering once the soil fully dries, which helps keep those stems thick and healthy. As it grows, the plant starts to drape dramatically over the sides of its pot, sometimes reaching several feet in length, making it one of the most eye-catching hanging succulents you can own. What makes it even cooler is that it blooms bright red flowers right on those fuzzy tails, creating one of the most unexpected and memorable displays you'll find in any succulent collection. Karoo Rose brings a totally different kind of strange beauty with its thick, rounded leaves that curl slightly inward, giving it the look of a stone-like rose carved out of desert rock. It thrives in bright light and really holds its shape best when it gets a few hours of sun, and like most desert succulents, it only needs water when the soil is fully dry, which keeps its compact rosette from stretching. This plant stays small and slow-growing, making it perfect for desks, mini arrangements, or collectors who love unusual shapes without needing huge pots. What makes it especially memorable is how its pale green, almost chalky leaves mimic real pebbles, a camouflage trick developed in the South African deserts where it naturally grows, making it one of the most unique hidden in plain sight succulents you can own. Lithops are the definition of strange-shaped succulents, with their split, pebble-like bodies that blend so perfectly into the soil that you can easily mistake them for actual stones. They thrive in bright light and need a strict low-water routine, often going weeks or even months without a drink, which mimics the dry desert seasons they evolved in. Each pair of leaves grows slowly and stays compact, making them perfect for tiny pots or tight spaces where you want something unusual but minimal. What makes them unforgettable is their yearly cycle. they actually grow a whole new plant inside the old one, and when they bloom, they pop out big daisy-like flowers that look way too dramatic for such tiny living stones, proving why they're always listed among the most unique succulents on the planet. Bushman's hat is one of those succulents that looks mysterious from the first glance, with its tall, ribbed, horn-like stems that stand upright like little desert totems. It thrives in bright, indirect sunlight and prefers a well-draining gritty mix, needing water only when the soil is completely dry, which helps it maintain that firm, sculptural shape. The plant stays narrow but can grow surprisingly tall over time, making it a striking vertical accent in any quirky succulent collection. What makes it even more fascinating is that its stems produce a deep reddish tint under stronger light, and its unusual shape comes from the harsh South African deserts where it blends in with rocks and dry shrubs, earning its reputation as one of the strangest and most unique succulents you can grow at home. Haworthia Cooperi looks almost unreal with its chubby, translucent leaves that glow when the light hits them, making the whole plant look like a cluster of tiny green water balloons. It thrives in bright, indirect light and prefers slightly moist but never soggy soil, needing water only when the top layer fully dries, which keeps those glassy leaves plump and healthy. The rosettes stay small and tidy, rarely growing wider than a handful of inches, making it perfect for desks, shelves, or anyone who loves unusual shapes without needing tons of space. What really makes it stand out is how you can literally see the sunlight pass through the tips of its leaves, a natural adaptation from its native South African habitat that helps it survive intense heat while giving collectors one of the most mesmerizing and unique succulents you can own. Bear's paw is one of the most charming and oddly shaped succulents you can grow, with its thick, fuzzy leaves that look just like tiny green paws complete with little, claw tips along the edges. It thrives in bright sunlight, especially morning sun, and needs watering only when the soil is fully dry, which helps keep those chubby leaves from dropping. This plant stays compact but grows into a bushy little mound over time, making it perfect for windowsills or outdoor pots where you want something cute but still totally unique. What makes it extra memorable is that those claw marks turn a reddish color under strong light, and when it's really happy, it even produces bright yellow, bell-shaped flowers, turning this adorable paw print plant into one of the most standout succulents in any collection. Euphorbia Obesa is one of the most perfectly strange succulents out there, shaped like a round little green baseball with subtle ribs that make it look almost handcrafted. It thrives in bright, indirect sunlight and needs watering only when the soil is completely dry, which helps it maintain that firm, spherical shape without stretching or cracking. The plant stays small and slow growing, usually topping out around 4 to 6 inches, making it ideal for small pots or collectors who love compact, sculptural plants. What really sets it apart is how its patterns change through the seasons, sometimes showing faint stripes or reddish tones, and fun fact, it's so unique in nature that it's become rare in the wild, which is why cultivated varieties are cherished as one of the most distinctive and unusual succulents you can grow at home. Baby toes is one of those succulents that looks so quirky you can't help but take a second look, with its tiny upright tubes that really do resemble little green toes poking out of the soil. It thrives in bright, indirect light and needs a true low-water routine, usually only a drink every couple of weeks, which keeps those plump columns firm and prevents them from splitting. The plant stays tiny and super compact, making it perfect for small pots, bright desks, or collectors who love weird shapes without needing much space at all. What makes it even cooler is the translucent window at the top of each toe, a natural feature that lets sunlight in so the plant can photosynthesize underground in its native habitat, one of the many reasons baby toes easily earns a spot on the list of the most unique, strange-shaped succulents you can grow. Astrophytum Asterias is one of the most fascinating strange-shaped succulents because it doesn't even look like a plant at first glance, more like a perfectly round, flat sea urchin carved out of stone. It thrives in bright light and prefers a gritty, fast-draining soil, needing water only when everything has dried completely, which helps it keep that flawless, symmetrical form. This plant stays small and button-like, usually just a few inches across, making it ideal for collectors who love unique shapes without taking up much space. What really makes it stand out is the pattern of tiny white dots scattered across its surface, almost like stars on a night sky, and when it blooms, it sends up a big yellow flower that feels oversized for such a compact body, one of the coolest surprises in the succulent world. Jade Necklace has one of the most unusual shapes among trailing succulents, with its perfectly rounded, bead-like leaves stacked neatly along each stem, giving it a look somewhere between jewelry and a living string of marbles. It thrives in bright, indirect sunlight and only needs watering when the soil fully dries out, which keeps those plump, glossy beads firm and vibrant. As it grows, the plant starts to cascade beautifully over the edges of its pot, making it perfect for hanging planters or shelves where you want something eye-catching and a little strange. What makes it especially memorable is how those bead-like leaves can blush with soft pink or red tones under stronger light, turning the whole plant into a colorful, living necklace that collectors love for its unique, sculptural beauty. Fenestraria Aurantiaca is one of the most strikingly strange succulents, with its tall, finger-like leaves that stand upright and glow at the tips thanks to their natural window design. It thrives in bright, indirect light and needs very little water, usually just a drink every couple of weeks, because those chubby tubes store moisture like crazy, helping the plant stay firm and healthy. It stays small and tidy, perfect for tiny pots or collectors who love unusual, architectural shapes without taking up too much space. What makes it truly unforgettable is its bright yellow daisy-like flowers that pop out of those odd little fingers, creating one of the most unexpected and cheerful displays you'll ever see in a succulent collection. Thanks for hanging out with me and checking out some of the strangest, most uniquely shaped succulents you can actually grow at home. These plants prove you don't need a giant garden to have something eye-catching. Sometimes the weirdest, wildest things come in the smallest pots. If you found a new favorite today or spotted one you want to add to your collection, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this lineup, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. There's a lot more plant goodness coming your way.